Hi, it's Brad. I don't suppose I need to tell you what time of year it is, but I would like to invite you to my workshop, my studio. And what we're describing today is how you can take a bucket of craft sticks of all kinds, shapes, and sizes, including 1/4-inch paint stir sticks, and turn them into a studio that is full of possibilities for your kids. So I've been doing wood bending and designing skills for classrooms for about 8 years. And this video, I hope, is to show educators who have had the concern that I've talked to. Sorry. Their concern about I have not been vetted what I want to do and not been approved, and I'm not an educator with credentials. I would love to see the credentials of the person who decided to fold a piece of paper into a paper airplane and get that in schools. So let me show you. Enough of the whining. So 7 years into designing and developing new skills for design engineering for the classroom, including furniture, all from simple hand tools that we all have around the house or around your classroom. So most of this is not out on my YouTube channel, but we're working on it. I wanted to introduce this to educators so they can reach out to me and we can start communicating as to how we can get this in schools. So about 1.5 years ago, I realized, I could teach kids how to bend wood. That was a piece of cake now after 7 years. But the real key was they wouldn't be able to cut and mold and shape them without tools. So I came up with a whole line of tool making that allows students and teachers to put real tools in the hands of students. And yes, you can buy these tools. They're more expensive. You can buy, a real screwdriver, a real drill. But what if you gave the students the creativity of designing their own tools? So we make saws. This is a T-square caliper. So from the saws and the tools, we get bending jigs. So the bending jigs, they make building components. The building components go into structural components. I'll show you here. So we use simple things from around the house. These are domino blocks glued to a paint stir stick. Gets this shape. This shape cut. Gets together, gets this shape. And from that shape, we build these. We just increase the size of the craft stick that we're bending and sometimes the mold. And I'll get back to those for a second. So simple things from around the house school can be used. These are Jenga blocks to make jigs and molds for teaching your kids engineering science. I-beam out of paint stir sticks. These are just examples of more bending jigs to make and how they're made. So one of the things we love to bend around is Legos, and I glue up Lego bricks to make molds that then we can bend around. So that is just tongue depressors. And then more common things that this is just aluminum, extruded aluminum metal, but then you put a piece of tape on it with measurements and some marks, and now you've got a bending tool. So once again, we've got these shapes that were designed in small scale, and it scales up to large scale to make these larger elements for furniture or engineering design for your students. So one of the things, obviously we're bending around almost everything. But the other thing that I noticed out there in material science, in like colleges, they don't really teach woodworking material science. And I hope to bring that back, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that can be done for material science now that bending wood is now, I hope to come to be commonplace. And we also include denim jean material inside the veneers that we bend to create composites. This one here, if you look close, you can see that is got t-shirt material rolled up inside that veneer to make a really super strong building component. This is actually stronger than a dowel because of the grain is going many different directions, plus the material makes it stronger. So we do a lot of handles. This one here has got some denim material, jean material inside it to make it stronger. So we're bending around handles to make handles. This one was bent around a 2x2 1.5 square, and those are paint sticks. So I'm not vetted, not authorized. I don't have a teaching degree. I'm just a guy with an idea who has been working on it for a long time. And I would love to teach this in schools, how to do design engineering. And it scales up from popsicle sticks all the way to 1/4 inch thick sticks that I can teach to bend. So we also use 3D printers to print out some molds if we have a specific size and shape that you want. So really pretty much any size. Here's some more of that denim material. We use it as a hinge. And this is bass wood rolled around a dowel. So this show and tell is hopefully to inspire educators to, I'm hoping that we can collaborate together as I produce these videos on how to do these things, that we can together inspire young minds, K through 12 and higher education, what this all means for our nation and engineering and creativity. I'm a steam guy, not that I'm steaming the wood, but I would love to share this with science, technology, engineering, art, and math educators. So, my world, this is it, and I would love to share more of it with you through my YouTube channel. But what I'm really after is those teachers who wish to start this with me. I have to start somewhere. And the few of you that I have reached out, Toast Tongs, reached out to, I'd love to start a conversation about how we can inspire young minds. So here's maybe a closer look on some of those shapes and engineering components. Now, some of them, like this one, is a little bit technical. These are, this is edge banding, several layers of edge banding, hot glued together. But that's a little bit more complicated. I wish I wouldn't have had started that conversation. But anyhow, these are popsicle sticks, just as that simple bending frame that I showed you earlier. This is some of our denim material inside there with basswood, wrapped around basswood. And what this might be is some kind of a knee brace. So the possibilities, including in the background, actually, I'll show you what's happening here. This all stuff is just design elements that we're creating. What I know after years of doing this is what you make in a popsicle stick size table or design can, from this point, scale up to large scale projects. So I'm running out of room, so I go up. So a person could design their project in small scale, like it or dislike it, and rethink it and re-engineer it, redevelop it, and then produce it with the large paint stir sticks. This is our mini mobile makerspace, and this is a combination of being able to teach engineering design in a classroom anywhere. This project rolls from classroom to classroom. I could teach the school how to make their own tools. And with that, when a teacher has a particular project they want to do with their students, they could sign up to use this rolling cart of tools, bring it into their classroom, and work whatever creative project that the students are building. So the students are actually the builders of the tool. I would provide the how-to, and I would provide the material and let them build their own tools to be creative. And the long-term goal, it could be shorter if you're involved, might be that we create wooden robotics. So the ability to bend around and mold and shape around servos, batteries, and wires is possible. This is just my first mock-up of creating wood and robotics. So I hope that this inspires students and teachers to think outside the box about wood and what it can and can't do. We are working on several DVDs and videos that will share and show how to make almost anything out of craft wood. Toast tongs, salad tongs, spoons and forks, spatula. I hope this helps clear up some of the confusion of what I am trying to do. No, I'm not vetted, educated with a teaching degree, but I have a whole lot to share, and I'd love to hear from you and share it with you. Thanks.